Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. John Deaton did comment on this post here from XRP Wins. She's exposing the CBDC Sam Bankman-Fried connection, and it is scary. This is an interview done with Whitney Webb. Now, the interview here is linked in the description of the video. I will link this here. I'm going to be honest, I have not actually watched this video yet. I'm probably going to watch it after I'm done recording this and editing this and posting this for you guys today. But, this is scary stuff, as she says here. And John Deaton did comment here, we live in what will later be described as the corruption era. How is it possible that the founder of an offshore exchange, who happens to be the single biggest fraudster since Bernie Madoff, gets to buy a rural bank in the United States and is immediately provided access to the Federal Reserve banking system, but an American entrepreneur and founder like Caitlin Long, who starts Custodia Bank in Wyoming, maintaining 100% in reserves, protecting depositors' capital, is denied a master account? Yeah, things just don't add up there. FTX did invest $11.5 million in the parent company of Farmington State Bank, a single branch with only 3 employees. The bank's net worth was $5.7 million, so SBF's investment was more than double the bank's net worth. Yet Elizabeth Warren constantly talks about crypto being used for money laundering. At the SBF trial, it was learned he gave the administration $10 million. The reason he is so, according to the evidence, was to buy access to regulators. And boy, did it work. SBF met with Gary Gensler twice and the CFTC, the U.S. Treasury, and got to speak before Congress, being praised by Maxine Waters and others. What the heck is going on here, and why isn't Elizabeth Warren talking about this? So, again, I will link this in the description. Can't wait to watch it. Whitney Webb is always a source of great information, but wanted to thank John Deaton just for bringing that up. The fact that we are living in a different time, BRICS countries are already realizing this, and they're kind of, rejecting the financial system, the old world, starting to make their own new financial system. And, because of blockchain technology, this is just becoming easier and easier as the months and years go on. But this is going to be noted as the corruption era. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the turning events, the first turning, second, third. We are now in what is considered the fourth turning. And if you guys don't know what that is, I suggest you do look it up on Google or somewhere else and watch some videos explaining how cycles tend to repeat every 80 years or so. But anyway, the corruption era, this is no surprise to me. The banking system on the brink of collapse. Also happen to see this, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman. Interesting tidbit from Brad Garlinghouse at the Apex Summit. Liquidity Hub did not develop, so we put resources elsewhere. That was a quote from Brad Garlinghouse. This was a clear statement that Liquidity Hub, as originally represented, is no more, offered in the context of a broad scope of things they've worked on. So it looks as though, guys, there is no more Liquidity Hub. Ripple did abandon that idea, I guess, for perhaps different concepts to allocate the funds elsewhere. Of course, we are still seeing Ripple thriving. Probably part of that was due to the fact that they realized, well, a lot of these banks and institutions are going to be using stablecoins. So maybe we should, kind of lay off the Liquidity Hub part of this and just kind of focus maybe on a Ripple stablecoin. And so that is what they're doing, going to be released later this year. Anyway, an interesting observation here from the Wrath of Kahneman that I just wanted to bring to you guys today. Now, with regards to the Apex Summit, slides from David Schwartz's keynote this morning, captured from the block presentation and presented slides saw titles. So the ecosystem, as David Schwartz does point out, represented here by wallets, custody, compliance, and security, and then the different categories like infrastructure, tools and analytics, gaming and the metaverse, marketplaces, DEXs, RWA, and lending. So a whole bunch of other organizations there. Core ledger and interoperability and education, including Ripple, Axelar, Flare, Corium, so on and so forth. And then the payments and stablecoins, right, including Ripple, Stably, Bitstamp, Transfero, Novati, and other companies. Guys, this is a huge ecosystem that is just growing by leaps and bounds. We also have current figures here bringing financial markets and assets on chain. $160 billion stablecoin market cap, okay? That is expected to grow to $2.8 trillion by 2028. Stablecoins are a critical entry point for DeFi, and this is likely why Ripple is focusing on that now. 97% of institutional investors believe that tokenization will revolutionize digital assets, and this was according to a BNY Mellon study. $1.5 billion of market value in tokenized U.S. Treasuries, so that is being locked up right now. And tokenized assets are forecasted to increase to $16 trillion by the year 2030. So a lot of interesting statistics here. The preferred blockchain for institutional grade DeFi and real world assets, or RWAs is what real world assets are. Tokenization. He gives some points here, and that is going to all be on the institutional grade blockchain infrastructure. I'm just going to skim through some of this, but I will link it in the description for you guys. Live on XRPL mainnet. So we got automated market makers. We've got lending protocols, decentralized identities, oracles, multi-purpose tokens, EVM sidechains. You guys can see the XRP ledger is developing by leaps and bounds. The super DEX, or the super decentralized exchange, aggregated liquidity for better capital efficiency and usability. So Ripple is working on that too. Liquidity pools, order books, AMMs. That was a recent update from this year. The lending protocol as well. We got some points on that. And interoperability, guys. XRPL is positioned to become the trading hub across blockchain ecosystems. So incorporating tokenized financial assets, crypto native tokens, stablecoins and digital currencies, and other real world assets, all going to be tokenized on the XRP ledger, at least according to David Schwartz and according to this XRPL Apex presentation that is occurring right now in Amsterdam. So very interesting, more developments, really just more developments on the XRP ledger. Again, guys, the more that is being developed on the XRP ledger, the more cryptocurrency adoption will occur, but more importantly, guys, more demand for the XRP token is going to occur because we are going to see more use cases for the XRP token. So, this is all part and parcel of what the plan is. We are seeing, we're seeing it come in drips and drabs. And, it's just not the kind of volume right now needed to bring that price up. But, when we look at what is forecast for 2030, $16 trillion of tokenized assets, and that is going to be the whole market. But guys, if we do have that interoperability, if we do see a lot of this occur maybe on other networks, but also consolidating, right? Because we're going to find that although some companies are going to be working on the XRPL, other companies are going to be running, Ethereum virtual machine as an example. And so these networks do have to be interoperable. So the XRPL has to be ready in order to capture a share of that activity. So again, great news here from the Wrath of Kahneman, bringing us the latest updates from the Apex Summit. Chad Steingraber here also bringing this to our attention, guys. Ripple is the initial setup partner with Mastercard to issue biometric cards, which can transact with CBDCs and stablecoins globally. So on top of that, guys, Ripple has all these other partners. I know I talked about this in a video in the past. Mastercard, Visa, both Ripple partners. And this was from a presentation from a few months ago. Domestic CBDCs, learning by doing, is critical to digital dollar development. So, being able to really kind of run with this, and they're looking at biometric credit cards through MasterCard. So that is global technology that is going to be provided by RippleNet as per this document here. And guys, here's a screen grab from a report. The inaugural set of partners includes CBDC platform Ripple, going to be encompassing England, Brazil, Hong Kong, Australia, and the United States when it comes to CBDC pilots and stablecoin issuance. Not to mention that we're going to get the Ripple stablecoin soon, RLUSD, which is going to be a game changer in the space too. So wanted to thank Chad Steingraber for posting that. Now, guys, it's not just Ripple who's saying it. Other professionals in the space are saying it as well. We now have TradFi interacting with crypto assets. This is coming from Mr. Mann here. Most notably, Ripple and their coming stablecoin RLUSD. That is coming up. BlackRock is entering the space. Standard Custody with Zodia, both Ripple affiliates, and PayPal. Listen to this.
So next, really, I wanted to touch on how TradFi, is entering the crypto market. We've heard a lot of really interesting kind of stories, use cases, Ripple with their stablecoin coming up. And really, we're at this interesting time where we're seeing TradFi really merge with crypto and digital assets. And I think we've got regulation to really help and cement the maturity of the digital asset as a mature asset class now. And it's really interesting to see what people are doing in the space right now. So just to give you a few very small number of examples of what's happening in the world. I'm pretty sure that you've probably heard of all the noise around the Bitcoin ETFs in the US. There's been a large number of wealth management institutions that have launched a Bitcoin ETF product recently in the United States. The most prominent being BlackRock, which have been noted for the most successful ETF product in US history. We then have Societe Generale in France, who have created SG Forge, which is their digital asset arm, and they've just released, on the topic of stablecoins, a euro-denominated stablecoin. We have PayPal that we've discussed already with their stablecoin. Revolut, in the past couple of weeks, have just launched their own cryptocurrency exchange, and we also have the likes of Standard Chartered, for example, who have Zodia custody solutions to enable the custodying, safeguarding of institutional digital assets.
So mentioning Ripple alongside BlackRock, Standard Custody with Zodia, both Ripple affiliates, and PayPal, big players in the space. So wanted to thank Mr. Mann for posting that. But guys, also, let's not forget today is, what day is it today? June the 12th? Well, now there's only 18 more days until Tether becomes effectively illegal across the entire EU. Now, what is this going to mean? Tether has refused to comply with MiCA requirements because it would mean that they'd be forced to adhere to basic consumer protection and transparency standards. I brought up this blog article here from June 4th, and basically what it says here, following Binance's announcement that it would begin restricting access to unauthorized stablecoins in Europe, by the end of the month, Tether CEO Paolo Ardoino expressed concerns about the European Union's markets in crypto assets regulation, or the MiCA regulations. Here's what he said. Tether has been actively involved in regulatory technical standard consultations over the past months and remains concerned that MiCA contains several problematic requirements. Ardoino told the blog, he said, these requirements could not only render the job of a stablecoin issuer extremely complex, but also make EU-licensed stablecoins extremely vulnerable and riskier to operate. As with any regulatory framework of this scale, further discussions on the technical implementation standards are crucial to providing clarity to the market over certain provisions. So it sounds as though he's a bit worried about this. The world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, said on June the 30th it would restrict access to unauthorized stablecoins. Binance's CEO Richard Tang clarified in an X post Monday that Binance won't delist any authorized stablecoins on spot, but will limit their availability for European users only on certain products. So that is Binance's plan moving forward. Of course, other exchanges are going to do other things. Unauthorized stablecoins, rival exchanges like OKX and Kraken are being forced to consider MiCA's potential impacts. I will link this in the description if you guys want to read the full thing. But guys, the thing that really struck me was this, okay, from Zoom here. Do you see the game yet? Ripple's stablecoin is going to take over Tether. This is his theory, his thesis on this. We were told ages ago USDT will collapse. Not only that, but we will see how USDT has been propping up the Bitcoin market. USDT falls and Bitcoin falls. So we have the article that I just read to you guys. The timing of the US and UK Ripple stablecoin is impeccable. Less than 20 days before Tether has to face the music. So is it coincidental timing? I don't know, guys. Mr. Poole did post this back in 2021, the explosion, the Tether H-bomb. Also, the domino effect of cryptocurrencies alongside regular traditional fiat currencies. Manipulation of the Bitcoin market, massive if it's true. Tether crashes, and that equals everything tied up with Tether goes down too. And he's just bringing up a screen grab here of a bit of a Tether, I don't know if we'd call it a Ponzi scheme, but everything that is associated with Tether here, buying Bitcoin, the Bitcoin market. You guys remember what happened with Bitfinex? I think it was Bitfinex a few years ago. And the founder there, Arthur Hayes, was it Arthur Hayes is his name? Well, you know, they were using Tether to prop up Bitcoin, and they were saying that the company was backed by, the company Tether was backed by Bitcoin, but they were also using the Bitcoin to print more Tether. I don't know, something that circularly did not make any sense. So like it was foretold, says 8 notables here. The Tether logo, too, guys, almost looks like an atom bomb, which was brought up by Mr. Poole again back in 2021. So is this something that we should be worried about? Is this the writing on the wall, guys? XRP drops, bringing this to our attention. So back to Ripple and their stablecoin announcement, guys. This was Brad Garlinghouse from Apex just the other day. The official announcement of Ripple's stablecoin. We know what it's going to be named, the RLUSD, but listen to how Brad dubs it.
The name of the Ripple stablecoin will be RLUSD. I like to call it Real USD, Ripple USD. We're very excited about this. I also will emphasize, as I've emphasized many times, we think this is very much complementary, additive to what the overall XRP ecosystem is doing. Anything we do in mind of how do we make sure XRP is as successful as possible for everyone here. Having, as David talked about stablecoins this morning, having liquidity on-chain, having the bridging and frankly better on-ramps and off-ramps, that's good for everybody. In no way does that take away from our commitment and our.
So in no way does that take away from their commitment. Brad Garlinghouse saying, the stablecoin and XRP are going to be complementary with one another. He's calling it real USD. So the real USD, could that be a double entendre? I mean, maybe if the US dollar does go kaput, I don't know, guys. Maybe we could be transacting in RLUSD more frequently, especially if we're also seeing some of these other stable coins maybe exit the market due to the lack of regulatory clarity. And we know Ripple has been using Tether up until now in some cases around the world, not in the US, but in other cases around the world. But dimes to donuts that they decide to replace that with their RLUSD when the time comes. So wanted to thank XRP Drops for posting that. Another one here from XRP Drops, XRPL Apex 2024. Brad Garlinghouse will never miss the chance to represent XRP. Also notice, guys, the t-shirt that Brad Garlinghouse is wearing here, XRP to the moon, an astronaut with the XRP logo going to the moon. So, I mean, I don't know, is it a subtle message that, maybe with the stablecoin regulation and the introduction of the RLUSD or the real USD, XRP is going to also thrive and be very successful. Now, the new Mr. Pool tweets, guys, also denote surprise, okay? Excited looking faces from Mr. Pool here, and this was just tweeted out yesterday. I'm not entirely sure what this one is, but these were all tweeted out yesterday. Mr. Pool with a tweet thread drop. Surprise, awe, excitement. I don't know. Does this coincide with perhaps what we are to expect come June the 30th if Tether is considered to be an unsuitable stablecoin in the European region? And how much dominance will we see for XRP once the RLUSD or the real USD takes shape? And just for fun here, Vandell was posting his results from ChatGPT. If XRP could save the financial system from collapsing by providing instant liquidity around the globe, what is the probability percentage that the central banks would use XRP in this scenario? Provide a concise percentage reply only. And ChatGPT spits out 85%. I mean, that figure is debatable, but guys, what I do know, XRP and Ripple set up to provide real-world liquidity. I mean, Ripple would not be creating a stablecoin if it did not think that it would be utilized in a global capacity. So many interesting updates coming across my desk. I'm really excited to see how this all shapes out and if we are going to see some more real-world activity, especially for XRP and the RLUSD come mid-2024 and into 2025. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.